there were, it was interesting response. So I'm really curious to hear how your experience is with your children.
Okay, so we can start. I was just trying to fix the recording part. Sorry, took some time, but I think it was nice. We got to know each other. Very warm. It's a warm start. Yes. So, Benjamin, you would like to do the welcome note? Benjamin, are you there?
Yeah.
So hi everyone. So we will wait for a few minutes. Anyone trying to join? You see Sakshi?
I think we can start. Benjamin? But we can't see you.
I think his internet might be a little bit.
Yes, okay. Yes, good evening everyone. So it's been, can't see.
Okay, I think there's some issue, Benjamin. And yeah, Benjamin, we can see you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So this is our third session with the Alopecia Awareness group. So we've had two wonderful sessions, starting with Jamie Elmo from US, Journey from India. Then our second one was with Rice, who has been with us for a long time in our conversations, monthly conversations, which we had. I would like to ask now Sakshi to introduce and invite.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ben. So I think Parul is someone I first heard on internet. I just came across, I was really looking for something to get over my fears, and I just came across her video on internet, which had like more than some 8 million views. But that was not important for me. What was important for me, the content, the words, which her words were very powerful. In fact, they were powerful for me because I had like this journey which I had covered. So there was a lot of loneliness in this journey, and it was like the first time I was hearing something that had happened to me, and they were exactly the same words that were coming out of her mouth, and it did not feel lonely at that time when I heard her. So it really gave me power at that time. It was very powerful. I had seen images of Ketki ji, that Miss Universe. So they were images, but here there were words that were coming so alive, and it was like my whole experience was coming in front of me, which I had never expressed. So yeah, so I think with these few words, what your video meant to me, I think it triggered something in me at that time. It triggered something in me to really take the first step to, do something, to overcome, to give up the wig, and to just do something to be myself. Yeah, I think that's what it did to me, that video. So over to you. With these few words, I would just like to hand over to you, and then we can have a conversation together. Thank you so much, Parul, for coming and being with us. Yeah.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here. I'm really happy to be here. Those are really nice words, Sakshi. I'm like very emotional right now, so I definitely may or may not cry. And I encourage everyone to may or may not cry if they want to, or laugh or whatever they feel. So yeah, thank you. I also, I guess, it sounds like people here, there's some parents and some people that might have alopecia as well. I'll invite everyone if they want to turn on their camera. I would love to see you. I think it's really, I don't know where to start here. I think what you said at the beginning, Sakshi, was how people feel hesitant to join Alopecia India. That really resonates. That really resonates because the way my experience happened, I had alopecia kind of since I was a teenager. Like it started small and like, and my hair was so long that like I always had long hair, you know, braid, you know, I'm in Toronto, by the way. So, and I grew up in an Indian household. My mom and dad are both from Punjab, and I was born here and they moved here just before I was born. So, very Indian household, even though I sound very Canadian. Inside is very Indian. So when I had long hair, and I always had long hair, kind of, you know, up to the middle of my back. And so when I had alopecia, when I was a little bit younger, it'd just be these spots, and I could always just move my hair to those spots, and maybe it's here, and I move my hair, new hairstyle, you know, whatever it might be. And then they would grow and they'd come back, and it's confusing. And I didn't really tell anybody because I was just like, oh, it's just going to come back, hopefully. And then a few years ago, actually like over the course of like 2013 to 2015, my hair just started getting thinner and thinner. And I remember using, maybe you've seen it, like it's this powder that you put in your hair. It's kind of like black baby powder or whatever, but it's like fibrous and it makes your hair look thicker. So like, and I was using that, and it was just like, you know, to be honest, not paying so much attention. I was like, oh my God, this looks bad. I'm like, let me just like, kind of like you put makeup on your face or something like that, or you wear something that makes you feel skinny or whatever your feeling is about your body, and you want to like kind of cover it up a little bit. So I wasn't even thinking about alopecia, and I was in total denial. And then in 2017, so much of my hair fell out. And my hair was so long. So when it would come out, it may be like 20, 25 hairs, but it was like a whole entire handful. And I was like, I would look at it every time I showered, and it would give me so much anxiety. I was like, what's happening to me? And still, I didn't say anything to my family knew because they could see. But in Canada, it's so cold during the winter. So I would just wear a hat and no one would really notice. And I would just kind of hide a little bit. You know, I noticed even like my posture, I kind of just got smaller and smaller and smaller. And I didn't even realize it at the time, because imagining that your hair is falling out is so unimaginable. It's like, why is this happening? Or how is this happening? Or what's going on? Or like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Like kind of these words. And so it took me a really long time to admit it, to come out of denial and into a place of actually seeing what was happening. And I would get so mad at the parents that are on this call. I would get so mad. My mom would be like, Beta, your hair, you know, let me see your hair. And she'd like come and take my hair, and she'd like go through it. And she's like, let me put some oil in it. And I was like, Mom, don't touch my hair. And I'm like an adult, right? I'm like in my late 20s, early 30s. I'm like, Mom, don't touch my hair. I don't need any help. It's fine. Because I would just get so mad if someone would also acknowledge what was happening to me. And yeah, like that makes me, I mean, that's just part of the journey. I think it makes me a little bit sad that I felt so ashamed, and that shame was so intense. It started to, it feels like acid in your body. It feels like it like hurts you more than anything else. And I just became such a small person. And so I understand when people are like, I don't want to join Alopecia India, because step one is a big step, which is coming out of denial and admitting it, that something is happening to you and something is happening to your hair. And I know we live in a society where there's so much, especially like in Indian society, there's so much for women to have this thick, beautiful hair, you know, and for the men too, you know, there's like beards, there's like, oh, we're hairy people. So it's in places it's like, I don't have hair here, but I have hair in other parts of my body. What's going on? Like, you know, take one, not the other. There's just like, it's just this funny feeling of like, I'm not beautiful anymore. How am I ever going to find a partner? Or how am I ever going to go to an Indian wedding? How am I going to ever put the jewelry in my hair? It's too heavy. My hair's too thin, you know, like, and I felt, I'm like, imagining I'm not married, but so I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, when I get married and I have to put a chimney on my head, like, what's it going to attach to? Like, how's that going to happen? Do I have to like glue it to, like, just all these like, there's so much about hair in Indian culture, like too much. And so honestly, it wasn't until I was dating someone and he's like, you seem really sad. Why don't you just, he said, he's like, why don't you just get a wig to me? And he didn't say it like, you look ugly, go get a wig, or you look like, he was just like, what's the solution here? And, like, that's how closed we are as a society. For him to think the only option is to get a wig, for me to believe the only option is to get a wig, because that's not really a solution. That's just like, I don't know what that is. It could be a solution for you. I think it's okay if it is, but if you're feeling so bad, getting a wig is only going to make you feel worse unless you come out of denial and into acceptance. And if you understand, okay, something's happening to me, I'm going to wear a wig because I choose to, not because I have to. And like that difference is so small, but so huge. To wear a wig because you feel like you have to, every time you put the wig on or take the wig off, I felt really bad, really bad. Every time I take the wig off, I felt so ugly. And I felt, it's not even ugly. I felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like I couldn't be myself. I felt like I was scared. I was very scared. But getting a wig or going to the wig shop was the best thing I could have ever done. It happened to be a wig shop that specialized for alopecia and cancer patients. And so the wig shop person, he was like, I sat in, it's like a barber chair or whatever, like a hairdresser chair. I sat in the chair and he just like took a pen and he's just flipping through my hair. And I'm like, oh my God, this person is like seeing all of my, I had so many patches of hair loss, like, so it like 70% of my hair must've fallen out in like 3-4 month period of time. And my hair was so long. And so I would really try to hide, and he was just going through my hair and I was like, oh my God, I could feel myself. I was like frozen. I was like, oh my God, this guy's seeing everything. And he's just like, oh, you have alopecia. Oh, okay. And he said it so normally because it's normal for him, right? His clients are all alopecia cancer clients. And that was the first time I heard it. Maybe someone said it to me before, but I didn't hear it. And so it was the first time I heard alopecia. And I was like, okay. He gave me, so then I bought this wig. This wig was so expensive. I can't even believe how much I spent on this wig. And I saved my money and I bought this wig. And this wig was so, I'm so happy I'm talking to people from India. You'll really understand this. This wig was so next level Priyanka Chopra. I was like gonna die. It was so intense. I was like, my hair was like this, and this hair was like this. It was so much hair. And I'm like, I can't go outside like this. This is crazy. This is like, I look like I came out of a hair salon and I feel like Priyanka Chopra in like not a good way, because this is like not how I look. I wear my hair in a ponytail. And Jyoti, kind of like how your hair is, like in a ponytail and like kind of like, it's just like chill, right? Just so chill. And this hair was like movie star hair. And I'm like, I look so not like myself right now. Sure, someone could say it's beautiful. Someone could say like, wow, look how beautiful your hair is. It's not my hair. I feel even farther from myself. Not only am I hiding, but now my hair is so extra. And I went to the wig shop and I was like, can you make this messier? I don't know how to mess this up, but like, just make it messier. Like, can I like put it in a ponytail, or like, can I like have like, like all of us, actually, if we look at, anyone that has hair here, Ramni, Lakshmi, like all of us have this like little frizzy hair that's off the side. That's like, it's cute. And I'm like, can you like somehow make that? And they're like, we can't do that. This is a wig. Because I so desperately wanted to go back to how I was. Like so desperately. all the like, and then I had so much appreciation for like, before I would be like, oh, my hair's so thin, or my hair's so this, or whatever. I want curly hair, my hair's straight, whatever it was. But I had so much appreciation. I was like, I just wish I could go back. I wish I could have my hair back. And I felt even worse with the wig on. It felt like the wig represented shame. The wig represented everything I was not. The wig was like, it represented, I don't know, it represented like how it made me feel so small. And so I remember there was this one day, not very long. Actually, it was funny. I got the wig to hide so I don't have to tell anybody. I'm like, oh, I have this wig. I don't have to tell anybody my hair's falling out. Literally, I meet a friend the next day and I'm like, oh my God, I'm wearing a wig. Can you tell? And she's like, what? Why are you wearing a wig? And as soon as I wore a wig, it was like, I couldn't keep the secret because I felt so not like myself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just, yeah. And then I think a few weeks later, I started getting more and more mad because I had to wear this wig. I was sad, but then my sadness turned to like serious anger. I was so, I hope it's okay if I swear here, guys. I was so fucking mad. I was so mad. And I was like, why? You know, like I asked the question to myself and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful I asked this question. And I think I would encourage anyone that's going through this experience to ask this question. Why am I feeling this way? That question changed everything for me. Literally everything. Because when I really truly thought about why am I feeling this way, it was because I was mad that I had to wear a wig. That society was telling me I had to wear a wig, that I felt like I wouldn't be accepted in my family places if I didn't wear a wig, that I felt like I would be totally ugly, like the beauty standards of not just India, but all over the world, like the beauty standards made me feel like I had to wear. So basically everyone else except for me felt like it was telling me I had to wear a wig. And that made me so mad. That made me even more mad. And that was the moment I decided I wanted to shave my head, because I was like, you know what? Why should I be listening to other people and listening to them tell me how to be? This is my life and my experience. And if they think I'm ugly without hair, because I had no idea what I was going to look like when I shaved my head. No idea. If I look ugly without hair, fine. If I look beautiful without hair, fine. But it doesn't matter. Like I wasn't even thinking about how I would look without hair. I was like, I need to stand up for myself. And the moment I felt that way, I have to say, it was like I was born again. It was like the part of me that felt like it was dying inside me, like my personality, who I am, my loving, strong self, like all of a sudden she showed up again. And like all the shame that I was feeling, oh my God, then I did the most intense thing. And I just posted it on my social media. Like, guys, fuck everyone. I'm shaving my head. Nobody even knew I was wearing a wig, right? So this is like out of the blue. I'm like, guys, I'm shaving my head in 2 weeks. This is what's happening to me. And I posted on social media. I can't tell you, that was the most anxiety I've ever felt in my life, was putting that post on social media. And it was like the most beautiful thing I could have ever done for myself. Because what is someone going to say when you say that? Unless they're a horrible person, which there are horrible people out there, which is fine. At least you now know they're a horrible person and you could just be like, delete you. But what's someone going to say? I'm not well and my hair's falling out and I'm going to now shave my head off. Like, I can't imagine any person in the world, unless they're an internet troll, that will say anything but, wow, that's amazing. You're so brave. How do I support you? Like, just, there are definitely mean people out there, but I don't think that's most people. And for you to like say so boldly, people tell me like, and so then I shaved my head, and it was just like really intense. I was really cold, first of all. When moms tell you to wear a topi, a hat, because it's cold outside, they're not joking. You lose a lot of heat from your head. But I shaved my head and I felt like I was on top of the world. I was like, wow, for the first time in my life, I made this decision just for me. And I made this decision by myself. And I'm doing this thing. It felt more important than my wedding would ever feel, because this was a ceremony for my life, not for a joint life, but for my life. And I treated it like a wedding. I asked a friend who's a photographer to come with me. I was like, you need to take photos. This is more important than my wedding day. I need you to take photos of me going to shave my head. And so he did. I asked a barber if he would help me, because I don't know how to shave my head. And that sounds really scary. He opened his shop up like 1 hour early for me. Because when I called him, I couldn't help it. I just started to cry, and I told him my story, and he's like, come, I'll let me help you. And it was the nicest thing I could have ever experienced. Yeah. I get emotional even thinking about it. And because it was so important, yeah, that changed my life. And I wouldn't change a thing. That moment changed my life so intensely. It somehow turned into me being the most brightest version of myself that I could have ever imagined. I could never imagine this. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, I'm not going to apologize for crying, but, and you know, after I shaved my head, I honestly, it was so liberated. And then I was so depressed. I fell into such an intense depression. Because imagine, I mean, I've had long hair my whole life. You know, maybe you've had a certain hairstyle for so long. And then to go from that to like not having any hair, I didn't even recognize myself. I didn't recognize my shadow. I looked in the mirror. I was like, who's this person? I felt like an alien. I got so depressed. I'm like, am I Indian? Am I a woman still? And like, I asked these questions, and you know what? I was so depressed for like 7 or 8 months. It was really hard. It was really hard. But asking those questions, am I still a woman? Am I still Indian? Asking questions about my identity was the second best gift, was the best gift actually that shaving my head could have given me. Because imagining the compassion that I now extended to myself and all my fellow humans around me was surreal. Because how often do you ask yourself, oh, am I like, why am I a man? Or why am I Indian? Or things that you don't even think about and you're just on autopilot about. And now you just feel this part of you so intensely. It's like, yes, I am Indian. Actually, you know what? I want to learn so much more about my Indian culture, because I actually realize I love being Indian. Yes, I am a woman. And you know what? I don't think I look more like a man without hair or with my hairstyle like this. I feel more like a woman because I choose to be this, and this is how my body, like this is how my energy is. And it took me it took me some time. It took me like, you know, 7, 8 months, close to a year to like really understand this. But, you know, maybe, you know, this analogy, like a phoenix rising out of the ash. I felt like I've had so many rebirths. When I shaved my head and went totally bald, that was me being reborn into the most fire version of myself. Like I felt like I was like channeling Mata Durga. I was so intense. I was so like on fire. And then that drop allowed me space to like understand and ask these really important questions that honestly, I think some of the reasons why people are so mean in the world is because they don't ask questions like this. They don't think about how they came to be. They don't choose. I think the biggest thing for me and that's totally shifted over the last like 5 or 6 years. Everything that you are and everything that you do is your choice. And so when you say you're making a choice, even if your parents are like, you have to get married, let's say, if you do it because you have to, you'd feel really bad. But if you choose something, it changes literally everything in your body. And so I created a new space for me to start making choices. And I know that's a privilege, and not everybody has the ability to make choices. But even if you can't, let's say, make the choice for yourself, you could still choose how you feel. You know, you could still choose how you show up. You can still choose part of your life destiny, part of your life path. And yeah, it was really hard being depressed and feeling a lot of anxiety. I feel very blessed that my family was very supportive. It was really hard for my mom, like really hard. And so seeing moms on this call right now makes me really happy, because it was so hard for my mom. It took my mom a few years. It wasn't even until after she saw that speech that she really understood what happened. I think a lot of people didn't understand, because on the outside, people are like, oh, wow, Parul, you look so nice with the shaved head, or wow, whatever. And I couldn't even take that compliment. I was like, listen, I didn't ask to shave my head, and I don't care what you think about my head. I don't need your compliment. What if I looked ugly? What would you say to me? Because, and what's your opinion about? What is ugly? I look like myself. And so I was kind of mean to people that gave me compliments, which is, you know, kind of funny. But I just like couldn't, I was like, they'd say like, oh, you look beautiful. And I was like, thanks. Like, and you know, when I came out of that depression, and I'll like end here. So I've been talking for so long. Sorry. So, because I really love to hear all of you as well. But when I came out of my depression, I came out even stronger and more delicate. So like I came out so much more stronger in my sense of self, and so much more delicate and aware of everyone around me, in not a bad way, in a way where I could see someone feel like and feel so much more compassion for their journey. Because, you know, the compassion you feel for yourself and the journey you have for yourself is only the amount of compassion you can extend for someone else. And so my compassion got so deep because I needed to do that for myself. And so my ability to show up for other people was so transformative. And I feel more like myself than I've ever felt in my entire life. And people might have an opinion about how I look. And I'll say, anytime someone thinks I look beautiful, the only reason I do is because I'm so confident in who I am now. And that confidence is totally beautiful. Because like, if I wasn't confident and I was talking to you, like, you know, from a really scared place, my energy would look different. And so it doesn't matter what any of us look like. It's truly you just caring yourself and loving yourself, which is hard, really hard. And like really showing up with your confidence. Because this is your life, this is your body, and you can make the biggest and the smallest decisions, whatever you have available to you, and show up with confidence, because that's all that matters. And it was really beautiful because I started going to Indian events, went to some weddings and stuff, and I would have all these aunties. Literally, I'm so bald. I'm so bald. Like I was like, would always have a hat with me because it was so cold. And aunties and like women would cross the room, literally cross the huge room to come to me and tell me how beautiful I looked. And what I appreciated that, but what I heard them say behind their words was, I can't believe an Indian woman could still look great without hair. You are changing the way I feel about my understanding of beauty. And I know it's not just about women, because so many men came up to me and that were bald that said, I never really talked about, my hair loss. I never thought about it. And now you're asking me to think about it. And they went on the grieving process with me, because there is a grieving that happens. Because it's hard for anybody to lose a hair. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. And there's a different identity shift that happens in both kind of experiences, right? But being confident and holding yourself strong, keep your chin up. And I would do that when I would go to sleep. I noticed I would go to sleep and I would just make my body posture so small. And I would tell myself, it's like, Parul, put your shoulders down, put your head back. And I would try to train myself to hold my body posture more straight. Because sometimes when I was too sad, I couldn't do that. And the body tells the mind and the mind tells the body. They're connected. Anyways, I would really love to hear from all of you, but thanks for listening. I'm happy to talk about, I'd love to talk about this and answer questions. And I'd love to hear maybe what's troubling you or what's exciting for you. What's alive for you? What are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Parul, how did your father take it, and can you talk a little bit about it? I know you talked a great in depth about your mother. Would be interested to see your father's reactions.
My dad was so supportive. Yeah, he was so supportive. He's like my number one cheerleader. Yeah. I think it was hard for everyone in my family, especially my parents. It took them some time, but my dad was less attached to what other people think. And I think the only reason my mom was upset was because she was thinking about, she was like going into the, oh my God, is my daughter going to get I want my daughter is not feeling well. I want to help her. And there's like really drama. I was like, okay, let's just chill. And so my dad was actually as soon as I shaved my head, I went to see my parents, and my dad was very supportive. I felt very lucky. Yeah. I'm sure it was hard for him, but he didn't say anything to me. And till this day, my dad still says how beautiful I look. He's like, you're gonna do amazing things in this world. So he really, that belief stays strong, and I feel very grateful for it. But he was concerned. He's recently shared with me how concerned he was. He's like, I'm not worried about anything, Parul, but I'm worried sometimes about your health. And I'm like, don't worry, Dad, I'm strong. So I'm sure he has his own journey, but he doesn't always speak about it with me. My mom, on the other hand, is much more vocal. And both are difficult and hard, right? Because I think all the kid wants is for their parents' love and for their support. But when a parent is more emotional than the kid is, it's a lot. It's like, okay, now I have to deal with my emotions and I have to deal with your emotions. This is too much. If we could talk slowly and lovingly, and don't make me feel bad, and listen when I say I feel bad when you say this, or look at me, see me. Do I look like I'm feeling good while you speak? And I think if you were really paying attention to your child, you'll be able to see this. And the only reason I did that speech on stage, I said no several times to do that speech because I didn't want to. It felt very scary. I've never done something like that before. Is because I saw, after I shaved my head, I saw these little girls I live in Toronto. So I saw these little girls in Toronto they were so little, like different groups at different times. They must have been like, Jyoti, they must have been like your child's age, like around 7, 8, maybe up to 9 or 10. And every time I saw these little people, these little kids, they were sitting like slumped, kind of like touching their hair. All the other kids around them were running around, and they were like away. And I remember this one girl, I saw her hair was really long, but she had like a bald patch here, and her family was walking on the sidewalk, and her mom kept trying to fix her hair, and you could see the girl was so sad. And I'm like, I looked everywhere. I was like, what are other Indian women doing, or other Indian people doing, or Middle Eastern, or someone that's brown? What's their experience? And I couldn't find anyone. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to say this. I need to do this speech, because I wish someone did this speech when I was going through this experience, because I felt very alone.
I think this is where we need, the group where, see, because even I can hear you so loud actually, because, I think as a mother, my thing was that, oh, okay, how can I help her? And in that process now, hearing you, I'm thinking that actually that would probably make the child feel, oh my God, that, I'm not accepted the way it is. My mom is doing so much to get help. That means there is something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how just like Jyoti said, I mean, until it happened to my daughter, I had never heard the word alopecia, right? So
Yeah.
as a parent, I mean, I can understand, you are the one who's going through it. And so you're doing that. As a parent, you are a child when it happens to you. So you really don't know anything beyond what has happened to you. But as a parent, we think we are in control. We think we can make everything right for our child. And then we are thinking, oh, okay, it's the hair. So let me, and now I'm, looking back, I don't know if I did the right thing or wrong thing, but, in India, while I was, my daughter was 10, no, I think about 6 or 7 when she started. And then by the time she was 10, UCLA was doing the experimental thing with that, I forgot what the name is, that acid treatment for the head they would apply and all that. So I made a decision to get her over to US to get that treatment done. But the 2 years that she spent here gave her a different kind of confidence, because here nobody cares about anything else. I mean, it's like, she was accepted just the way she was and all that. That gave her the confidence. In that perspective, I think it was the right thing, because she got her confidence back. In India, I could see that going. I could see her going down in academics. 2-3 years, I could see the whole level, her confidence falling. So then I'm thinking, oh, if I stay on here, just like you say, there are people who they don't mean to be mean, but they don't know how to handle the situation. So they will say things which are more harmful than just keeping silent.
Oh my God, some Indian aunties and uncles are so rude. I can't even believe it. And like, I'm lucky I'm old enough, because I'll say something back.
Yeah.
And they don't expect it, and I will. Because I'm like, if you talk to a little kid like that, you better believe I'm going to be really pissed off at you. Because what are you going to say to a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old? Beta, why is your hair like this? One uncle asked me at a conference I went to, he's like, do you have cancer? And I was like, do you have cancer, uncle? And he's like, why would I have cancer? I was like, I don't know. Why would I have cancer? Like how fucking rude. Like who thinks that they have the audacity to speak to someone like that?
Yeah.
And what I've learned is that those people are probably very scared inside.
Yes.
Those people are very scared, and I can extend my compassion to them, but I can also use my words to tell them not to speak to me that way. And I think, like, as a 7-year-old, as a little kid, you only know what your parents tell you. So if you tell your child, wow, you look so beautiful. Oh my God, look at you. You look amazing. That kid's not going to know anything different, that there's anything wrong with them, because there's nothing wrong with them.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with them at all. And you know what you can do is maybe like, let's eat cleaner. Let's treat our body. This is an autoimmune disease. So the body is attacking itself, whatever that means. Our bodies are so smart. Why would our body attack itself? Maybe there's something around us. Let's eat clean. Let's do exercise. Let's be healthy. Because the only sign, the thing that for me that was like really important is, if I'm losing my hair, does that mean my body's feeling unhealthy? I don't care about my hair. What I care about is, how's my body feeling? My hair is just a sign of me doing something maybe right. But if it doesn't grow back, it doesn't grow back. If it grows back, this is the first time I've ever had hair in like 5 or 6 years. And all like already it's starting to like fall out in different parts. It's like falling out. And I don't feel that sad. I'm like, oh shit, it's happening again. Now I'm thinking, what am I eating and what am I doing different? How do I take care? Like I'm using it as my barometer of health. Anyways.
Yeah, that's one thing my wife did to make sure that no negative people were around us. She isolated Radhika from anybody could make even
any negative comment for any reason,
any
you know.
passing remark. So we just made sure that we didn't associate it with such people. And luckily we lived in a complex where there were, people who had come from abroad or some more educated class. So those things, Radhika didn't really go through those things, I think.
No, but internally, I think now, when I heard you speak, I can feel that, I don't know if we have actually given that much attention to hear it, because I can feel that, no matter what you say, like even the wig, right? Sometimes while going out, as a parent, I don't even know if I am asking the right thing or not. Do you want to wear a wig or you don't want? Should I ask or shouldn't I ask? Even as a parent, it is so difficult because we are not the ones going through it. You are the one going through it. But I don't know whether to ask or not to ask or how to ask, because, it's like you have to read between the lines. You say 2 words, it's too much. You say 1 word, it's too less. So I'm weighing myself, it was like, so for pay, that's why, this whole group, when Benjamin mentioned about this and last week when I attended, I feel it is so important of all the age groups, like somebody like you and everybody else around, to start this group where we talk. I mean, parents should know what they should know before we cause more harm to our children, So.
I want to ask, like, Romney, are you experiencing alopecia, or is it your child? Or wanted to see.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I was just asking Romney what her experience is. I'd love to we can kind of.
I'm Sakshi's real sister.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. So every word you said has made me so emotional because I've seen her since a child. It's very difficult in India, especially for girls. And she's so brave. I think my mom was so brave. It's been, how, like, as a child, Sakshi used to say, she used to call herself a boy when she was very young, because boys can be a little bald, but girls can't be. So, I could actually relate to whatever you were saying. But then, yes, this group is much needed, we need to educate parents, family, that how to deal with a child. Somewhere, I think we also have made a lot of mistakes, and that's how we learn. Yes, absolutely. Especially in a country like ours, where we give so much preference to a wig. And I'm so proud of Sakshi that, now she's let it go. I'm very proud of her now. And I'm so thankful to you that, you shared your experience, and I hope it's helpful to many people.
I'm really happy. Yeah, this is a hard process to go through. It's a lonely one because you could hide.
Yes. Because my father had alopecia, but then we never, he was like, we never, that was not that hurtful that time. But when Sakshi had, we could actually relate the pain. Thank you, Parul. Thanks a lot.
Oh, I know. I understand in India. I can only imagine how difficult it is in India because people there are so, they say anything, and they're not very nice about it. And so, yeah, I felt very grateful that I was in Canada, but at the same time, I was thinking so much about women in India and in the Middle East that are very much so hiding. And so, yeah, Sakshi, rocking a bald head. I'm so proud of you because honestly, it needs some of us to show ourselves to reveal what's happening for other people to find acceptance. Like if I didn't do that speech, I would never have found you. You wouldn't have found me. And I haven't talked about this in a little while, like this hair journey. But it's so important because I don't have people to talk to about this with. You know, people in my life have accepted and moved on. But then when I reference it so often, and people around me like, why do you keep referencing that? I was like, I don't think you get it. This is a big deal. You might not understand it, but this changed my life.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful that I allowed it space to change my life for mostly the better.
So I actually think, like, I stay in India, and I'm not sure of how the things are treated in the US or somewhere else outside India. But unfortunately, in India, doctors really don't really discuss things with us. They just know, they just see you and then just prescribe medications. So I wouldn't say I wasn't really aware of alopecia, because I had a relative who had alopecia, but it was like nothing. I mean, just one spot, one injection. I don't know what he took, and he was fine. And it's been like 8-10 years. So could be hereditary. I'm not really sure. But then when my son got it, around say November 2020 was the first time I saw a spot on his neck. I didn't even bother. He was hale and hearty running around. So I was like, okay, fine. And then I could see a few spots on his back as well as on his legs. Again, I didn't really bother because he's still not reached his puberty. So I'm not even sure if he's got his hair or what. Then all of a sudden in March, when we went to cut his hair, we saw a few spots. Still, I wasn't really concerned. But by April, he started having spots around his ears and his hair, etc. So we spoke to a pediatrician who suggested as a dermatologist who started giving us medications. And that was the first time we mentioned things like totalis and universalis, which is something I was not even aware of. So when I was actually sitting in front of this clinic and Googling it, like, what is it? And that they have literally, the doctor literally, I shouldn't be saying he's a very good person, but he literally scared me so much that if you don't give this medication, he'll go all bald. If you don't give all this medication, he loses eyebrows. So as a mom, okay, I'm sorry. As a mom, you are totally caught. You don't know what to do. Save his hair or give him steroids. And I chose the latter. Though I didn't even know, I came back and I Googled. And then again, when he lost, again he said that if we don't give him immunosuppressants, he will start losing his hair faster. So that was fine. I mean, I was a tough client for him. We used to actually sit and Google stuff. People don't even bother, honestly. And now, I mean, trust me, last 1 month, and trust me, after meeting your group, honestly, I have been, sorry, Sakshi, but I've been scanning through your Facebook page a lot. So, okay. So I've come across so many people, Ketaki ma'am, Parul ma'am, everybody. And I'm like, what was I running after? I mean, it was absolutely wrong. Yes, I don't know. My son is still, he has a head full of hair now. He's still not started losing it, maybe because of the supplies which has, but those 3-4 months which I was giving him medications, I was more paranoid. Now it's a little relaxed because I feel it's fine. I mean, slowly the thing is sinking into me. Like every month, go and do blood tests for his kidney and his liver. I'm like, what? I'm saving his hair and destroying his kidney or liver. What is this? So it's like those immunosuppressants were like every 3 weeks, the child had to go give his blood tests for get those checked. So I think, yes, in India, definitely awareness is zero. People don't know what to do. So as I messaged Sakshi the other day. I just came across a boy. He was a MSc, he's doing his masters. I'm very sure his father is after him that you have to get your hair back or else you won't get a girl. He's been trying steroids and I don't know, some other, not even FDA approved medications. And then now he's trying homeopathy, Ayurveda. And I was like, I better get you joined to this group so you're aware that nothing is going to actually help you. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it will help or not. I'm not sure. I hope it does for him. But still, it's very difficult as a mother. So if it's people are aware about it, at least they'll not take this step. Like me.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to ask, actually, I'm available. We can keep talking for a little bit if some people want to stay, because I would really like to speak to what Jyoti said, and I'd really like to hear Jagmeet. I'd love to hear from you too. So I think,
Yeah, we are. We can continue.
okay, cool.
Mhm.
I could say this here because everybody here is a version of Asian, South Asia, Sri Lanka, India, you know. We have Ayurveda as our medical system, and we have dismissed it. For the longest time, the reason why I didn't participate in any of these alopecia awareness groups, and this is my fault, I totally reject the diagnosis of alopecia. I'll be very honest. I totally reject it. And so because of that, I didn't join any of these groups. And that's a mistake because I think we need to come together. And if the title is alopecia, fine. But in terms of, okay, this is my opinion. I'm not a doctor. This is my experience and my opinion. Why would my very smart body attack itself? Which is what alopecia is, your white blood cells attacking your hair follicles and your follicles falling out. Why would my very, very smart bodies, doctors don't even know how smart our bodies, they're still trying to figure it out, right? Why would my very smart body attack itself? And then on top of that, a steroid injection or whatever it is, what I was told by doctors is that, oh, your hair might grow back, but then it also might fall out again. There's no permanent solution here. And so to me, it's like, if I were to have gotten injected, I would have needed at least 100+ injections because I had lost so much hair loss. I'm like, if I were to put like 100+ steroid injections in my head, how is that going to affect other parts of my body? Long-term, especially. If I were to do it continuously, one time, fine, but doing it continuously until my hair grows back, I was like, do I care about my hair growing back or the health of my body? I asked myself that question. I'm like, okay, I care about the health of my body, right? So that was my answer. Mm-hmm. What other things could I do to support my body? And this is where I leaned into natural medicine, Ayurveda, and all of these like beautiful non-Western medicine techniques that we have as Indians. This is like part of our culture, like even drinking haldi dud, haldi and milk together is like, now the West is like selling them as turmeric lattes, they're just, I'm like, people are eating khichdi as like, oh, this is fashion. And I was like, this is just khichdi. Like we eat khichdi like regular, so we have so much power in our culture. We have so much possibility in our culture. And people ask me like, oh, Parul, your hair grew back. How did your hair grow back? And, I joke, I was like, oh, I took this pill. And I was like, no, I didn't take any pills. That's what I did not take any pills. What I did is I spent so much time and so much energy trying to see what felt good in my body. I changed my diet. I took out unnatural things in my diet, gluten, dairy, things that have like kind of a lot of a little bit more chemical production in them. And I was like, I want to be as natural as I can, because if I'm more natural, the body can heal. I want to see what's making my stomach hurt, what's giving me a headache. I want to take those things out of my body. I want to be not inflamed, I want to give my body a break so it has a chance to heal on its own. And you know what? Maybe that's why my hair grew back, or maybe my hair just grew back and it's going to fall out again. I have like literally no idea, but I can't tell you, I feel so much better. I have so much more understanding of my body. And imagine giving that gift to your son, to small kids, to have that awareness. Someone said the most beautiful thing to me. People that get sick or people that have health issues have been given the most beautiful gift in the world, because you're now going to explore and investigate your body, and you're going to understand, and you're going to be so much more aware. And that gives you a level of resilience that healthy people don't experience. So when a healthy person gets sick, they don't know how to take care of themselves. I bet anyone here that has alopecia, and if you got sick, you know exactly how to take care of yourself, because you've been thinking about your body a lot and you've been giving your body that attention. And so honestly, I believe we have so many tools of awareness, of paying attention, and of Ayurveda that we can choose to change our life, which is so much harder. I will say it is so much harder than taking a pill. So much harder. But there's so many more amazing things that you can learn about your body. And as your life continues, I feel like your understanding of yourself will just continue to grow, and you'll give that gift of awareness to everybody around you. That gift of understanding alternative ways of healthiness. You can't help it. You'll just start making it for your sister, for your mom. Mom, let me make you this smoothie. Mom, why don't I make you dinner tonight? And look how beautiful this dinner can be without atta and without milk. You know, like, look at how amazing this dinner can be. Mom, or like, Dad, can you tell there's no sugar in it? And my dad's like, I like it. I'm like, he's the hardest one to please. And so now, I'm now teaching my family how to be healthy, because I was kind of felt like I was forced to think about this a lot. And yeah, I don't know. So I don't know, Jyoti, if that's helpful, but that's the attitude I took. And whether my hair grows back or not, I feel so much better. And as a mom, yeah.
Yeah, so continue, please.
No, go ahead, please.
No, so I mean, I would say that since my son was born, we really follow a very non-sugar diet. Rather, he doesn't have sugar in any of his meals. He started having chips and all those after joining school. Before that, though, not at all. And now because of COVID, he's at home since the last 2 years. So it's like really a rare delicacy for him. He touch wood, he till date he's a pretty healthy child. In fact, like during COVID, when we did not have friends around, nobody used to like play. So we started running together, and my son can easily manage a 5 kilometer run at 7 age.
Wow.
So it's like fine. I mean, I think in that way he's pretty healthy. So I could
So
never even
strong.
guess. I could never even guess. And I don't know, like as you mentioned, I have spoken to quite a few doctors in Ayurveda, but again, still they give me a different medication and oral medication, and I'm like, I'm not sure. It's just becoming an experiment for me. And I mean,
Follow your intuition.
Huh?
Follow your intuition.
Follow my intuition is to become one like you all. Your personality is like
No, but you can
I have no personality in front of you guys.
you can sense it, right? You give something to your son, or you hold it and you just feel like, how's the energy feel? And you know what? It's like, it sounds so, I feel like I can say it here, but sometimes when I say it to people, they're just like, Parul, are you crazy? But we are so much smarter than we think.
Yeah.
We're so much more aware than we think we are. And as a mom, I'm not a mom, but as a mom, you got crazy senses. You just know everything that's happening. I don't know how. It seems like that's like a mom trait. But yeah, just follow your intuition. See how your son is feeling. And like, that's the same thing I would say to myself. So then now as a mom, you can do that for your son. Teach him to tell you, how does this feel? Like, how are you feeling is a question we don't ask enough. It's a question that changed my life. And I think as a parent, it's a question that could change your relationship with your child.
I totally agree. The counseling is more for me than for him, because he doesn't even realize he has something. And I have a husband who is pretty supportive. Rather, from the time he's got diagnosed of alopecia, my husband is like, fine, kya hai? It's just alopecia, like nothing. There's nothing you have to be bothered about. But I'm the one who is like always checking his hair. And I got him more like, maybe he must have not even realized he has alopecia, but because of me, now he knows he has alopecia. Something called my son. That's a mistake, definitely. I'm trying to be a little chilled out about it, but it's difficult. So I'm not sure how will this progress.
Love and awareness.
Love and awareness, totally.
Yeah. See what makes your son smile. See what makes him sad.
Yes.
Jagmeet, I'd really like to hear from you. I don't know where you are. You're in the streets of somewhere. I don't know if he can hear me.
Yes, we can. Jagmeet? Jagmeet?
It's on mute.
You're on mute, Jagmeet. Yeah.
I can't hear you. I'm just asking how you are. How are you and where are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm from Mumbai.
You're in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Cool. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but I'd love to hear.
I also have a social, but I always wear a turban. Like I never remove it. From last 5 years, I'm 24 hours wearing. So currently, I've done a recently I've done a microblading.
Me too.
Yeah, like earlier every day in the morning I put like from the pencil drawing. It was very difficult. Like to maintain like now recently I've done the microblading. Yeah,
How are you feeling?
yeah, now feeling good.
Is there anything that we could support you with? Is there anything that we can support you with? Is there anything that we can support you with? No. Okay.
You know, like also almost like more than 20 years. Like for the habit, I live like this. In the starting stage, it was difficult, like in the school time or college time. But now it's like common, like everyone know now.
That's great. I'm really happy to hear that. And microblading is awesome also because I lost a lot of my eyebrow hair.
Yeah, it's a very good because like pencil drawing was very difficult.
Impossible, literally.
Like myself from everything, no one can touch it. Like it remove automatically. So now like saving lot of time.
That's great. I'm glad you came. It's nice to see you.
Yeah. I don't know if Radhika wants to say something. Radhika is also there. Radhika, you want to share something? Okay. Okay. So I just wanted to really thank you, and probably I just wanted to share. There was so much of what you said, Parul, resonated with my own journey. Like, I think as a kid, I was not even bothered about this alopecia. I would really give it back to people, who would make fun of me. But in adolescence, I think I gave it to the wig. I really gave it into it. And that really changed my relationship with my body. So much of shame. I mean, earlier I was myself, but with the wig, it brought so much of fear that someone would know, that, someone would just take it off. It brought a lot of fear. It brought a 24/7 moment to moment awareness that on my head, always I was thinking about my head. That's something. And automatically the posture changed. As you said, word to word, the things were the same. It just, my relationship, there was so much of I remember I used to scare to go to college because there was some ragging and they said that you have to oil your hair, and I was so scared. I just gave up. I just scared to go out with the wig also on. Whereas I think I had held my head quite high without wig till my till my 14 years. But then I think it the wig, slowly I understood it. It made me another person, the wig. it gave me a freedom to become something, to go out and to do certain things, but it really took away the freedom to be who I was. Couldn't do so many things which I really wanted to do. And yes, definitely, it just changed the relationship with my body, and I still have so much of remnants of that, of what my body went through during that. Now I just want to be free. I just don't want it on my head. I just don't want it. I'm slowly increasing spaces where I can. I don't have the courage to be bald completely. I'm taking it with carbs. Uh, Next week I have to go to my workplace after a long time, and I have this will to go with the headscarf. No matter whosoever asks me, there's so much going on inside me, but there's a big part that tells me that I have to go with my headscarf, whatever they say. Putting things up on social media is a part of it, part of that acceptance. Accepting myself as pretty, it's much more important than others asking me to, than they're asking others to accept it. Because there's so many times, like other day I went out with my headscarf and we took some pictures, and I was still seeing myself and I was still feeling that, oh, I don't look good. I mean, it's nothing, if something is not right, I'm not looking the way I look. And it was an awareness for me that I am not accepting myself to be that I am beautiful. I should say this to me. I should accept myself. There's still so much part of me that belongs to the outside voices they have put into my head, the definition of what a woman should be and should not be. uh, I just, I think today was an important day for me also to get that courage, because bit by bit I want to be myself, and that is the best gift I can give to my body, as you said. So thank you so much for everything you said was word to word same happening to me. I mean, gluten free, dairy free. I've been doing all that now, feeling better in my body, awareness and all that. But have not, never heard my body, never give it a chance, never heard it. And it is so, I mean, if you imagine a relationship, if you don't hear someone, it is so terrible for that person. And we have the most intimate relationship with our body. We're not listening to it. That is so cruel towards our body. So I just want to hear my body more and to tell me what it wants to tell, to be friends with it. Yeah. I think that's what I think that's what alopecia has done. I would have never done that if I wouldn't have alopecia. I would have never thought of having that harmonious, a harmonious mind, a harmonious body, and a harmonious emotional being. It has really given me that gift. And I am grateful for that. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you so much.
That's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. You feel amazing. Your energy is so big, right? You feel amazing. And you organize this conversation. And I think that's like incredible. And I will tell you, I will share also that for a year and a half after I shaved my head, I couldn't move my body. Even if I went to a yoga class, I'd start crying. Like it was hard. So be gentle, be kind. And I started writing love notes to my body. Literally, dear elbow, you're so important. Dear nose, some people think you're big, but I like you just as you are. You just like write silly love notes to parts of my body because it's just bringing awareness. That's a practice that really helped me a lot.
Thank you.
And it's funny. It's funny to talk to.
I think that's very important, because that's just the relationship with our body. That's the most important thing, most closest and the most tangible thing we can have,
Actually, alopecia or not, I think everybody can benefit from what we are hearing, actually. It need not be alopecia. I mean, just because it happens to be that platform here, we are talking about alopecia, but, as a person, I think the same thing has to be practiced by everybody. We will all be reborn.
Right.
Well, can I take a screenshot of us right now? Would you
Yes.
guys feel comfortable if I did a screenshot?
Absolutely.
I think this is okay. Ready? On the count on 3, we'll smile or something. 1, 2, 3. Great. That's amazing.
And also, if you don't mind, Sakshi, on the email to the whole group, if you can share the speech that you're talking about, Parul making that. I don't think I've
Yes.
heard that. So
I'll
please share
share
that.
it. I'll
Thank
share
you.
that. I'll share that.
Where is everybody, by the way? I know Jagmeet said he's in Mumbai. I don't know where everyone else
We
is.
are in Los Angeles.
You're in Los Angeles. Okay.
I'm in Delhi. And
So
Jyoti,
I'm
where
in Kandy, Sri Lanka.
Say it again, Benjamin.
I'm in Sri Lanka, in Kandy.
In Kandy.
It's center of Sri Lanka, central area.
I stay in Kolkata.
Where? Palghat?
Kolkata, Kolkata.
Oh, Kolkata.
Kolkata.
we have the main cities, all the metro cities. Actually, we can actually start the support groups in these cities, at individual levels, meeting up at that. It can really start from there.
And Mom, you're also in Delhi as well?
Yeah, I'm from Delhi.
Oh, so nice. So nice. Wow, everyone's from everywhere. So many time zones. I'm going to be in Los Angeles in a week and a half. So maybe maybe you could see you when I'm there.
Yes. Very good. Yeah, we have to, I'll share my number.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can share with Sakshi.
Yes, yes.
This was a really nice conversation. It was really nice to meet people and allies, family members that are supporting. This is really nice. Thanks for organizing this, Sakshi and Benjamin. Thank you.
Okay, can I share one thing?
Yes, yes.
As we talked about Indian weddings, the crying is also part of the ritual of Indian wedding. We all know that. Okay, whether and I cry whether I go to a wedding on a boy's side or a girl's side. I cry.
He cries for both of the parties.
Both of the parties. I cry watching movies. But you'll be surprised. Everybody in February, when my daughter's wedding happened, everybody was waiting with a video camera. See how I will break. I didn't cry one drop. Because I was so proud of her. And maybe when I recover, I'll talk. Because she never looked back. So I said, this is a celebration to come. In fact, first time I'm crying. Otherwise, I said, no, this is celebration. So I didn't cry one drop. Sorry.
Uncle, your tears are beautiful. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you. Because she never looked back. And she was top of the world. So all others, you don't have to worry. Just as Parul said, just give the love, support. Of course, credit goes to my wife. I was the absentee father. I will fully agree. It was all done by my wife. When bringing her to LA, everything. I was in the back, but we just made sure that we never commented. We never asked them to wear a wig, whether they wear, they don't wear. It's all left to them, free for all. So both of them have turned out to be great. So I said, This is
Yeah, I'm hoping that, one of these days, both the kids will get onto this group and help themselves actually as much as they can help others also, because whatever they have done within, it's like the other thing in India, I think is, we don't express at all. We think if we keep quiet, everything will go away. But that is not the case. And I feel that, as you said, Parul, for you to feel that, this is me, let me make the decision for everything. And, the society has set up these conditionings and standards by which we all go. And hardly anybody actually questions them. When things are going smooth, things just go. Only, like, as you said, our greatest learning comes only from our challenges in life. Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are, and certainly we are better human beings because of this, actually. So be more empathetic, more compassionate, more understanding, more sensitive of, what to say, what not to say, what to ask, what not to ask. I think it really brings us to the awareness of what should be. Otherwise, we would never be. So this is, it's as you said, it is certainly a gift in all of our lives, actually. And but the time has come that there are enough people to talk about it and to bring it to some form of culmination where people can feel free. When they have diabetes, because it's inside the body, it's still an autoimmune thing. But why only with alopecia we have to face this, right? Even this is an autoimmune thing. So like this, there are so many things we can make a difference to. So, but this is a great platform, and I really, Sakshi, thank you, and Benjamin, and everybody who's together in this. And as I said, I would certainly like to volunteer whenever, whatever we want to do.
I can share
So
share some of my contact information with Sakshi,
Yes.
and you guys can
Yes.
feel free to reach out to me on the Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
And I'll just say one more thing, Benjamin, before you close. I think it's like a reminder that I say to myself, which is should and shame are the same. When you catch yourself saying should, know that generally shame follows.
Did you hear it? Should?
And
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, should and shame are the same.
Oh,
They're the same.
that's very powerful.
Yeah. What one leads to the other, and so choose, make a choice.
I think just before we close, I just wanted to tell everybody, this is being recorded, but I'll share it privately because I think it was a very intimate, everybody shared intimately. So I'll share it privately with everybody. I won't, because it was too intimate. I think I'm not sure if you're willing to share it on the public platform. So I will share it privately.
You can edit so that before we go into group discussion, and you could share my part.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with that.
Right. Oh, that will be lovely. Yeah. If you agree to it, then we can do that.
Yeah.
And the rest, the other part where we were like privately sharing our things, I can share it privately.
We are okay though. I mean, there's we are out in the open. So we are out in the open. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing. No,
Yeah, so,
we have about it.
Yeah. So we started this group from our WhatsApp group, which was started by Radhika back and myself back in 2017. Radhika Kulkarni, who is the daughter of Lakshmi. So I think we should be thankful to her, and it's been a long time, but we were able to restart this, and so I think from here we need to see what we can do for others just like us. So we have that responsibility, taking that extra step. So we have not known many things, what is what has to be the way we should react, or how we should take things. So let's share. I mean, it's a very emotional, and also it's a lot of learning for every one of us. Thanks, Parul. So we need to help each other. That's how I take life. So that's how my reading about. So we need to learn every day. We will learn. So let's move from here, and so we can. Here's over to you, actually.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody, Parul, thank you. And everybody, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll love to hear from all of us again, hopefully
Yes.
soon.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I think also we need to focus more on children, and because we need to do more for our children. How we can, especially for parents, and so how we
Yes.
can work out on. So let's get together and
Yeah.
do our thing. Right. Thanks. Yes.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
I think
Bye.
Angie is here. Just joined.
Oh, hi, Angie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We need to remember Angie's nephew, who their family, we just passed away yesterday.
Oh.
So
Angie, are you speaking? No, I don't think I'm sharing.
Angie, you're muted.
Angie?
You're on mute.
I think it's some problem. Yeah, you're on mute, Angie. You're listening to us.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, Angie. All well, Angie?
Yeah.
our condolence to your family, Angie. So
Thank you.
we are with you. Yes.
Thanks for coming in, Angie.
Yeah, I had to drop in.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry I missed everything, but
Do you want to share anything?
not really. I'm normally talkative, but I'm just going through something right now.
Well, you're welcome to, if you see the recording and you want to chat, you're welcome to reach out to me. We could talk when you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Bye
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
It's nice to meet you all. Yeah.
Yes, same here, Angie. Same here. Parul. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
It came all well, right?
Yes, yes. Ramni, you can stop the recording and just keep it on your computer. Just stop recording.
I'll save it on the laptop.
Yeah, it will save. It will take some time to convert. So